Welcome to the basement.
I drop gems, I'm hard, just peep the wordplay. I came to kill and resurrect on the seventh day. So red to push the button. Man, my shit disgusting.
Welcome back, people. This is Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast. I'm your boy, Mr. Prez, and with me always,
it's your boy Cash, aka Exec P. What's happening, good people?
Hey, and this week we also got our number one collaborator up in here with us, Iggy. How you doing?
I'm good. What's up, fellas?
Good, it's good, man. You know, when we all get together, you know what time of the year it is when we all get together. You know what time it is. Time to make some lists that don't matter,
get them
but
lists.
they matter.
Hey, man, it's been a minute though since we've been on. I've been a little bit of everywhere, Cash. You've been kind of holding it down with some interviews and everything. In the meantime, to catch people back up. Getting ahead of myself, Cash, for the new people who ain't never heard of us and don't know what we do. Can you please enlighten them?
Yeah, man. We about music, sports, entertainment, culture. Each and every week, you can catch us on Tuesdays, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, dropping, with multiple topics. It may be just music. It may be just an interview with an indie artist that you need to check out. It may be something of the culture, like, Deion Sanders going to Colorado and just not caring about those black kids he left back in Jackson State. You never know. So it could be about some of those things, though. But we'll always bring our own little twist to it and invite our guests on to give their expertise on the matter. And that's what we about, man. We've been doing this thing, about 3.5 years strong. So, and we gonna keep going.
Man, I can't just let you slide like that on Deion on prime time, man. You've been holding us down for years, man. And hey, first thing Deion said when he went there, all y'all motherfuckers think y'all gonna stay here? Y'all better get on that portal because I got my people coming. I'm coming with luggage. He got his people coming. The ones that's supposed to coming with him. The other ones, hey, they got their shine. They should have made the best of it. And it's time to get out here and win on the big comfort side.
HBCUs are not going to fall off. Eddie George is at TSU. Ken Griffey just started up something for HBCU baseball. Who else? They got Hugh Jackson at Grambling State. Mo Williams is at Jackson State coaching the basketball team. So, like, a lot of these guys are not. Stephen Curry been at Hampton. He's been working with the golf team for like 4 or 5 years now. So
yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at anybody for making the move.
It's not going to go away, in my opinion. So, I mean, Deion did. He's Deion, but he's going to do the same thing in Colorado.
For sure. Because dudes is really going to Colorado. And I mean,
it's crazy. Like, he already shot off the recruitment list in like a day.
Hey, man. Yeah, don't sleep on Colorado.
Deion.
Don't sleep on Colorado, man.
Don't
sleep on Colorado.
Hey, does everybody judge your career move? Did we say anything when your ass was in Idaho?
I didn't choose that. It chose me. It chose me.
I didn't choose that.
It chose me. It's the life I chose, man. It's the life I chose, man. Those 3 years, man, I can't get back, man. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk on this for a minute, but I won't let it go. We ain't here for that this let's go on and get into what we're here for, and that is, getting this top 10 list for albums of the year. We're gonna jump right into it this year. This is gonna be our first thing. We're gonna get a top 10 list. We're gonna do indie next week, the top 10 indie albums. And gonna kind of leave it at that. I don't know what else we're gonna do. We may do a couple other lists, but we're gonna mainly hit the top ones this year. So it's kind of where we're gonna stay at. So everybody got their list.
Oh,
y'all did.
Yeah,
y'all did your research. Y'all went back and actually listened at it.
Yeah,
it was easy, man.
I said, I actually went back and listened month by month what I was listening to at that time.
For sure. Yeah. It was easy, man. Like I said, I went with my gut. I ain't trying to make a list that's, palatable to anybody else but me.
Yeah, me either.
It's my list. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with it.
That's good. Well, my list, we spent the past 2.5, 3 weeks, going back and listening to this. Is kind of why the episodes kind of kind of far in between right now, because we was doing our proper research and making sure that we got a proper list, man. So Cash, run it down, like how we're going to do it this year. Are we going to start at number 10, let each one of us name off one, or we're going to go 5 at first and then slow it down on the front 5 or what?
Yeah, we're going to do 6 through 10. We'll go in order of whoever goes first, 10, 10, 10, 9, 9, 9, and so on and so forth, so we can have our conversations about it throughout. You know, this is going to be a long podcast, so if you're a music lover, stick around. And that's what it's going to be. We're going to timestamp everything, you know, for you guys, let you know when we get to 10, 9, and so on and so forth, so that you guys can get to the number one on what you want to hear. If you got, you know, one of those people that just, you know, like to hear micro content. So we'll give it to you that way. So without further ado, man, who wants to give up number 10 first, man? Like, we ain't talk about this. This is one of the first years we just gave little sneak peeks, but we ain't really talk about it until we here now, man.
I'll jump out, go number 10 first. So, because I know mine's probably going to be a lot different from everybody else's. So my number 10. Who?
Plies.
It's your boy Plies.
I ain't hood.
Number 10, Plies. The hood is back.
Oh,
be like,
man.
Nah. But at number 10, I got Miles Monday. Superheroes Don't Exist. 11 tracks, 33 minutes. The standout tracks for me was Mother Nature, Horizon, Never Meet Your Heroes, Better Way, Save Yourself, One Way Never Comes, Farther Time. And so most of y'all probably don't even, if you haven't heard of Miles Monday, I'd have mentioned him a couple times throughout this year. The album came out technically in December, but as you know, we kind of revised when we actually do this list so we can actually fit people in, because we always lose the people in December because we record in December, right? So this was one of the albums that dropped, I think it was December 10th, 2021, around that time frame. And this album, the minute I got done with our list last year, I started listening to this and it stayed in rotation. It's just a smooth, man, he does a humble confidence type rap. And it just fits well with all his the beats and everything that he chose, which is, you know, it's gonna be the
Is it like he laid back, like more so that eerie, but like it's, I don't know I don't know how to call it, but like it's just spaced out, man. He just be in his own vibe.
Yeah, and I feel like he's on this album, he showed that he was extremely confident in his sound, in his delivery, and it's one of those things that he was just constantly like, I felt like the constant vibe was just like, hey, I know what I'm doing is dope, you know what I mean? So if you ain't catching it right now, you may catch it in a couple years from now, but my music is going to be one of those timeless type music that can kind of just live in any era. I think he kind of mentioned that on one of the raps too. I think he said something about my shit timeless. They're going to play my shit in 3203.
Yeah, and I think he's kind of like, you know how 40s production is, to where it's like it just leaves enough space for people to do whatever they want to do. It ain't like too overly complicated. So you've been promoting this guy heavy, man, and for a year strong, I still haven't listened. I'm terrible.
No, and like his intro to the actual album, man, I think is just like kind of displays what it is. He says like, looking for something different. I got the sound, the rhythm, motherfuck the algorithm. You know what I mean? So yeah, you probably ain't gonna find it, ain't gonna push it on you, but like I got what to. If you're looking for something a little bit different and that little vibe and sound, then this is where you should go. Miles Monday, man.
Miles Monday.
Superheroes don't exist.
I'm coming back to this. I ain't gonna stop the flow. Iggy, what's your number 10, man?
Me? All right, so my 10th pick, as I was telling Prez, man, this is a tough year. Keeping some guys out. I think it's not talked about enough, but musically, this is a great year. But my number 10 is going to be Tana Talk 4, Benny the Butcher. That dropped March 11th of this year. It provided verse of the year from J. Cole, Johnny P's Caddy. You probably put Benny in the top 5 verse of the year with that verse. That's debatable, but he could be there. Also, other songs I liked on there, Super Plug, ran that shit up like crazy. Busta Brick Nick ran that shit up like crazy. Thoy's Revenge, Uncle Bun. I actually like 10 More Commandments. It was one of y'all that said y'all didn't like it.
I didn't.
Cash.
I didn't. I'm from
I
Brooklyn.
liked
Y'all
it.
gotta
I still
forgive
play
me.
it. And I thought it was a good spin on Biggie's, but I can understand why people may not like it. But I like it, and I like Back with Stove God Cooks, who's one of my favorite newer guys. He's not really new, but that's my boy right there.
Yeah,
so
that shit fire.
But yeah, Tanner Talk 4 as number 10 for me. As y'all can say, y'all know I fuck with Benny, so putting him at 10 is saying a lot.
Competitive.
You know what I mean?
This year was competitive, man.
It's a very competitive year. So, and that album dropped earlier in the year. So, and I really, the past couple of months is when I went back to the album. Was like, okay, yes,
it's
good.
Still sounds fresh. I mean? Still sounds
so
good. Yep.
It lands in a 10 spot.
For sure.
Cash, Iggy said something that I think we really have to do. Like we said, was going to do the indie, but I think we owe it to do the top verse, at least top 5 verses. Because
I'm down to do the top 5 verses.
This year, it's
some quad. It's some like I mean, before I get to my number 10, like we could just get into it because this is gonna be a long podcast. I don't care how long it is because like this is the last 2 podcasts that we gonna do for the year.
Yeah, we closing out.
So we closing it out. So we gonna talk. But yeah, like this year was fucking extremely difficult. Like even if I don't have certain guys outside of Mall's Monday in my top 10. Right. Even if I don't have them, and we're gonna try to get to these conversations because I got a feeling y'all gonna stay consistent on who y'all had on y'all mid-year and all that. It's just there's a lot of dope albums. Like they don't necessarily have to be rapidy rap type shit. Like it's just like a lot of dope albums to where it was just difficult to keep off. And then verse of the year, I mean, you had it's like maybe 2 moments to where we would discuss in verse of the year, and it's that Benny joint with Cole or Benny, and then Jay. Those 3, and then maybe Nas.
And the freedom of speech.
Yeah,
with J. Cole again. J. Cole was up in there several times, man.
Nas's verse on the 21 joint that just dropped.
Y'all like that? Y'all like that?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I ran that verse back a lot. He's got some verses on King's Disease too that could be in that conversation, but
Cash didn't like it. He was still too caught up in the social media hype. You know what I mean?
Whatever.
He said he was irrelevant. I can't take him serious.
You know how many times I ran back that Nas joint?
That's not what I did. What are you talking about? You be painting a narrative. I came on the very same week. The next week it said that's not what 21 meant. I was defending 21. Like you see how you do. I came on the very next week. That's not what 21 meant at all. He come on here with the lies, man. Like, come on, man. But yeah, man. So for me, yeah, Cole could be in there twice. Benny definitely in there. Hove is in there. Nas is in there. On wherever you pick Magic and or King's Disease 3, pick one. And pick a song, pick a verse. There it is. But without further ado, I'll get to my number 10 because we gonna get into this a little bit further. I'm staying in the Griselda camp. God don't make mistakes. Conway, that's strong. It stood in my mid-year. It stood out, man. I like the hunger that Conway has, man. And it just always feels like he don't ever feel like he's appreciated for what he does with the pen. And I think that this project worried me, especially just with it being on Shady. And y'all know Shady's history for not really doing that well with rap albums with guys that we think that are spitters, you know what I mean? To where it's kind of lackluster at times. Not saying all the time, but their batting average, if I had to give it, is probably 30-40% for, the anticipation versus what you get. And you're like, God damn, I wish they would have did a little bit better. So, but God Don't Make Mistakes fire. Piano Love, Locked It Loaded. He had one of my favorite rappers ever, Beanie Siegel, on there. His voice was a little bit different, but the bars were still crazy on there. He had Jill Scott. I've talked about it when I covered the project. Like that Jill Scott verse, y'all talk about verse of the year. Listen to that Jill Scott verse. And if I ain't trying to disrespect Jill, but if she wrote that verse, man, it might be rivaling a lot of people out there. Like you just got to hear that verse. That verse is fire. And I think it's because I didn't expect it. You know what I mean? And then also, Chanel, I'm not Chanel Pearls, but what's the other one? Drum work with Sev the Genius and Jay Skis on there. Like he has like quality throughout here. And then the final one on here was God Don't Make Mistakes, the title track to the album. How it ends off to where it was like with him getting shot and just that feeling. I don't know, man. Like he started the year off right. You know what I mean? I think it dropped in the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. But like fire, man. Just nothing but fire throughout this whole project. It flowed well. Even the songs that are kind of like in the midst of an album where it's a little murky, to where it's like, this ain't the biggest song or my favorite song, but it just flowed well. So I got to give credit to him on that. You know what I mean? I think, it's close to where Tana Talk 4 was, but of course, Tana Talk will come up a little bit later for me.
All right. Number nine for me. And like, man, you're going to keep doing these little jabs at me because, hey, I listen to what I listen to and I put my list out here like I did. Mall's Monday. How about you actually quit being a damn such a hard hypocrite and actually listen to the damn album and give a true analysis of what it is. Besides you just coming out, just hating on the album from the jump.
Some people we just hate on. Like we just do that, man.
Like, hey, I mean, this ain't your job, bro. Your job is to actually, hear these albums out.
I'm messing with you, man. Go ahead, man. Get your Mall's Monday off, man. Album of the year.
New York, that's your people, right?
Don't matter to me. I ain't lived there in 20-something years.
Number 9 for me, Earth Gang, Ghetto Gods.
Ooh, yeah, they was on mine. They didn't make it, but they was on.
Yeah, that's a fire album.
Yeah, so this one was 17 songs, about 53 minutes long. I mean, this was like, started listening to from what I can remember, started listening to Earth Gang probably about 7 to 8 years ago, started hearing them come out. And ever since then, man, I just love their style, the way they come about things, their approach. It's different from any other music that you hearing, really. You know what I mean? They ain't really following no styles. They in their own lane, whether it's with the Spillage Village or whatever they are, or when they actually, like, they got that distinct style when they're featured on something, you know what I mean? Whether it's solo or as the duo, you know what I mean? They kind of can grab your attention every time. And with this one, had a little mixture of everything. It had some of your radio little tunes that'll get out there for that, but then it also just had some catchy, some hard hitting like anthems about like real shit that people going through and everything right there. So like I really liked it. The songs that stood out to me was Ghetto Gods, Billy featuring Future, Water Boys featuring JID and J. Cole, Amen, which was Music Soul Child, who came up quite frequently. People were probably wondering like, where Music Soul Child been as of late, and he didn't been featured on a couple different albums this year. So, hey, Music coming in with the harmonizing for the hooks and everything. All Eyes on Me, man, that right there is like the anthem on that song for me. Like that one, just so heartfelt and hard at the same time.
I love
what I
hook.
mean?
I love that hook on there too.
And then American Horror Story. Then you got Power with CeeLo and Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon's talking at the end and explaining how he's gonna, he's doing his own. He eventually gonna bounce back and everything. So I thought that was pretty good. Smoke Something. So yeah, those were the tracks that kind of stood out to me. But like those anthems, Amen with featured Music Soul Child and All Eyes on Me. Like when those two came on, they was back to back on that album. Man, I just immediately just replay those. Like those are the ones that like really, really like get me. And then American Horror Story and Ghetto Gods probably the true standouts for me.
Yeah, I've returned to that album quite a bit this year too. So I don't know where it would land outside of. It's not in my top 10, but I don't know where it will land. But it's a very good album.
It's a strong album, man. It didn't make mine, but it was there. I had about 7 people that I kept off. I was like hurting to have to keep them off, and it was one of them.
That just goes to the quality. That goes to the quality, man. But Iggy, as for you, man, what's number 9 for you?
All right, so for number 9 for me, like I know everybody likes the traditional lyrical, like break down the lyrics. And I have some of that.
Oh, here we go.
I'm also Iggy Loudmouth as well. So I also like high energy bullshit sometimes. And one of my favorite street rappers right now is ESTG, and I got him at number 9 for I Never Felt Nothing. Highlight songs on. I mean, ESTG. This album made it, but it also indicates the year he had for me. Man, I blew this dude up all year. I'm talking about from February I mean, it's about 4 or 5 projects. That's probably my most listened for this year. But yeah, anyways, top songs on there: "Have Mercy," "Bow and Say Grace," "Shoot It Myself" featuring Future. I ran that up in the mornings when I needed to wake up or gym time. Let's see. I actually like the song with Machine Gun Kelly, "Death Around the Corner." That was actually one of my favorite songs on there. And
he dropped twice this year, right?
Huh?
He dropped twice in our time
he got 42 Doug. He had a 42 Doug joint album, and then this album dropped after the 42 Doug joint album dropped. So yeah, it's a good year for ESTG. Obviously, he had a great year. Definitely came into his own as an artist this year for sure, and I'm excited to see what he does next year. He got the Jeezy stamp this year. Everybody been comparing that. He got the stamp from Jeezy this year, so I think he about to take off for sure.
Yeah, that Jeezy project too. Still, that's another one that I personally kept out because you know how with the OGs you be like, you know, they just dropped the Mount Westmore, right? I was listening to it just for nostalgia purposes, and I was like, this is terrible. But
I did not look for it.
I was like, this shit is terrible.
You know what's crazy? Like they was on tour, and I didn't really hear a lot about the tour, so I didn't really feel like.
And I would go to that. I would go to that. A lot of the OGs that do their thing because they're gonna play the joints, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, I know how you feel about Ice Cube and shit like that, Prez, and just like that. But like, you know, it just is what it is. It's not good at all. You know what I mean? And
he said it all,
no, it's not. It's not good. It ruined my morning drive the other day. So it didn't really set me off. Started fuck my whole day up. Then but my point is the stamp of approval from Jeezy was fire because he's on a fire project from Jeezy in 2022, and Jeezy comes out roughly 15, 12, 05, 06, so 14, 15 years ago. Jeezy still, and Jeezy had a little quiet moments. I probably was the only one still like Prez raising the Mall's Monday flag, but with Jeezy. And that's my last time, Prez. I promise.
Listen to the album, bro.
It's my last time. We gotta have fun. Man. I'll talk to y'all often, man. We all busy. We got jobs. We busy, man. It's my last time. I promise. I'm gonna refrain. But the Jeezy project, like if you listen to it, like Jeezy sounds fresh, rejuvenated, with drama and all that, and to be on it, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, ESTG is not in my top 10 when I had to whittle it down, but I enjoyed the hell out of everything he dropped, even though he dropped something with 4-2 Dub. And y'all know I don't like 4-2. Yeah, I know I don't like him.
That whistle?
Yeah, I don't like him at all. But I like that project too. So that's it. That's the go. You know what I mean? You know, I just gotta listen. Like,
come on with your number 9 and tell us how Lloyd Banks, the curse of inevitable, number 2, and number 9.
Listen, man. Don't you over here reading my mind. You over here reading my mind, man. That's why you my guy, man. But at number 9 for me, 2000 Joey Badass. Fooled your ass, man. Look. I got this is a really dope album. I like how Diddy set it off, set the tone, made me feel like I was back in the 90s. I don't know if Diddy had anything to do with this project. I don't care if he did or did not. But I do feel like Joey Badass was in his bag on this project just because of like how he used the samples, how he utilized the features. Like, again, he got West Side Gun on here, brand new 911. It sounds like a Griselda S track, but Joey showed up on that shit like a motherfucker. Make Me Feel. That sample was ridiculous. Static Selector. If you're not a fan of Static Selector and you in the underground scene and stuff like that, you know, y'all should know about Static Selector. So he did his damn thing on this project, man. Cruise Control. The joint One of Us with Larry June. Larry June is another guy that did a lot of great work this year that I don't have on my list, and I fuck with Larry June for just the chill vibes that he provides. Then also he had Survivor's Guilt, you know, kind of where he was really addressing the loss of steez and stuff like that on there that I really felt like over the course of the years he really didn't address in its entirety on a project. He may have said it from time to time, but I like what he did on that. But like this whole project, man, when I would press play on it, and it was like it came out during adult time in the summertime in July. For that to come out in July when it's like summertime music and you know a little bit more up tempo, and me to vibe out to it just said a lot for me for it to still be on my list several months later. So Joey Badass 2000, follow up to 1999. This dude is doing his thing, man. Went from the acting back to music and really focused on the music this time around. So I really rocks with this project. So that's my number 9.
Yeah, that was one I didn't want to keep off, but I did. But yeah, it was good to hear Joey. I was worried about him a little bit because it had been so long, and now he's acting, you know, doing all this, you know, modeling, all that other shit. So I didn't know because his older projects was when he was younger. He took a big of a break, and now he's in his mid-20s.
Something like 5 years, I believe, like 5-6 years or something between albums. Like, Perez, you remember the one with the flag when he was on a car? Like,
that was All American Badass. That was like he was like 21 when he made that. 20 something like that.
I'm thinking, like, how was that 5 years ago?
It still had like a couple bangers on that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it had some bangers on there. But so now he's older, and I was just worried about what that would look like now. You know what I mean? But he actually got better, to be honest. So it was good to hear and good to see him touch back and get back into rapping again.
Right, especially after having success and was he nominated for an Oscar or some shit like that off that Netflix
Emmy,
show? Emmy, and just all the success he's had. Like it's hard.
Wu-Tang?
No. He had like a short film. It's like maybe like 30 minutes that was on Netflix where he relives his death over and over again at the hands of a cop. I don't know. Did I send it to you?
Yeah. That was an Oscar then. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know if it was an Emmy, but nevertheless. Hey, baby girl, go. Hold on 1 second.
Give me time.
All right, shorty just bust up in here. But like I was saying, man, he had a lot going on, and Iggy, like you said, man, that's when rappers are doing a lot of other things outside of rap.
Exactly.
You always worry about it.
Exactly.
That's just natural. So, but I think he put together a really solid body of work, and like maybe 7 of them tracks are like ones that I go back to often, you know, throughout the years. So, and the rest is just it fills in and it feels good, man. So I like the whole project though, but yeah. But that's my number 9, bro.
All right, my number 8 is gonna be Benny the Butcher, Tana Talk 4. And man, I say this is sitting at number 8, but if that number, Johnny P's Caddy, wasn't my number 1 played song throughout 2022, I still think like it is the jam of 2022 for me. Best song put together, just with him and Cole, you know, bouncing off each other for that song, you know, just coming back and just having the, you know, who has the better verse. I don't know, you call it. All I know is they gave us the best, both of them.
Yeah, and
I appreciated it so much, man. That was, like I said, that song alone could have got this album on here for it. But as Iggy had alluded to earlier, you still had tracks like Super Plug. I like Weekend at Perry's featuring Bodie James. Tyson versus Ali with Conway. You had Uncle Bun, 38 Special, who I felt like was the kind of polar opposite, where tone and everything from Benny, so they kind of play off each other a little bit on that, like, because it's like the total antithesis from each other. You know what I mean? Just complete opposite.
I know exactly
in the
what
way,
you mean.
like the little smoother delivery versus the more rugged street type delivery. So bam, that those flows matched up really well on there.
You could throw Boldy in there too, right?
Yeah,
Boldy same way.
Yeah, and then you got Throwaway's Revenge, and then Bust a Brick Nick. And then I like the last song on that. You didn't mention it earlier, Iggy, Mr. Child's Hall.
Oh, yeah.
So that one was a perfect way to end it on this album. as I, like you saying, like sometimes I was like, every time an album came out, I was like, oh, is that kind of better? And I still went back and it was still fitting in its place. And I was just like, no. Now, song wise, I still feel like Johnny P. Scatty was beating any of like one song on any album. But overall, like the product, you know what I mean? I kind of fell where it did, you know, at the end of the year. But there's a lot of great music that came out this year. But I feel like any other year, this would have been up a little bit further on my list.
It would have been like a top 3 type album. Like there's literally little flaw on this Tana Talk 4. You know what I mean? Like I didn't hear flaw. People talking bad about it. Like people rock with this project overall. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's in their top 10, but like nobody, you know, talk bad about it.
Nobody said nothing bad about it. And he followed up Tana Talk 3, which was like the one that
got him on the radar. Yeah, for everybody.
Was, you know, he had been kind of promoting Tana Talk. Yeah. yeah. Don't know the words, but
don't know the words, but be in the car.
Yeah.
LeBron be friends.
Yeah. So my number 8 actually was led up by Cash in the previous segment. Jeezy Snowfall. He said he left it off. I had to put it in mine. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Yes, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Why I put it in mine, because when it dropped, you know, Jeezy hasn't really dropped in a while, let alone done nothing with DJ Drama. And I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest with you. Like I didn't really know if he was gonna try to like do some of what he did with Black Market, or was it called Black Market, where he tried to do like the conscious shit, or like, you know what I mean? Like
Jeezy. That wasn't Jeezy. That was Rick Ross with the
Black.
Was
Rick Ross. Yeah, Jeezy did something like that too, though. I can't remember what it was called.
He came at like right behind his
3 or some shit. Like
no. It was
he was on like a Bentley on the cover or something. Like,
because it came right after the verses last year, and then he came back in it, and that kind of gave you the vibe of it. But it's like, it seemed like he kept going. I'll let you finish up, and then I'll talk on it. Go ahead.
But you feel where I'm coming though, right? Prayers,
yeah.
Like I just didn't know what to expect. So like when I turned it on and that first song came on, Snowfall, and when that intro hit, I was like, let me turn. I'm gonna hit press back again to make sure this is the Jeezy I'm about to get on this album, and I did. And I just ran that shit up the rest of the month. So yeah, I had Snowfall as top song, Street Cred, MJ Jeezy, I Ain't Gonna Hold You, Scarface with ESTG, which we talked about, Grammy. I mean, what else? I like the one with Dirt, Most Hated. I mean, to me, it's a good 8 or 9 songs on here that I consistently have played. You know what I mean? Throughout the month since it dropped. So I couldn't leave it off. Like I said, I stayed true to what I was actually playing this year, and not necessarily what, like, you know, kind of the logistics and all that shit. Like I actually went to like, all right, what was I actually listening to? And I feel like my list is strong enough off that. Like it's valid based off, because I mean, I got some, but this shit right here, like, if y'all ain't really checked out Jeezy in a while or heard about it, it was kind of like, I don't, like, bro, you gonna want to put on your fitted tall tee, you know, Jabos and Air Forces, and you gonna want to hop in the kitchen, listen to this shit again.
For sure. This the type of project that make you go back to a person's catalog where you get lost for a week. It don't matter what else come out that week that you was wanted to look forward to. If you listen to this one of them weeks and it catch you at the right time, you going back to listen to Trap or Die and all the other drama mixtapes, because it fits in that vein, man. And that's I played this a lot, and it came out like what, October, September time, late September, October time frame.
Yeah, October 21st.
Yeah, so this joint still get played, man. 100 my shit though. 100 my shit on that one, man. So this like
that was the last one. I was forgetting one. I knew I was forgetting one. That was it.
Yeah, it was like a victory lap for me. Like as far as
last
just, like,
the intro and the outro on that was
crazy,
flawless, excellent execution.
Crazy, and Drama was, you know, at an all-time high with his shit talking. So
hey, I just want to say, Drama has had
this been
his run these past couple of years has been crazy, but this year
with Jeezy, Simba, Simba's another one I kept off my list. I wanted to
I
put
kept
Simba
him off too, and he was hard to keep off.
Yeah, and who else?
Agree.
Easy just dropped with Ice with Vezo, young dude.
Yes, and that shit is running up.
I don't like these young Detroit dudes outside the T.
Man, that shit
y'all
is
know
hard,
I don't like them, and I like that shit. Like that shit, I like. Yeah, so y'all know, we fuck with T Grizzy over here, but everybody else, Babyface Ray, even Babyface Ray with the notches. I'm getting out of. We talking about
had a
stuff,
great year too, man.
Yeah, so so I fuck with the Jeezy pick, man. No worries with that. Number 8, I won't talk too long on it. We all have it in our, in our list. It's Tana Talk 4 as well. Like I said, man, I love when him and Stove God cook up, man, back 2 times. Like that's the song for me off this entire project. If we're talking about everything outside of Johnny P's Caddy, that's my favorite collab on here. And then Tyson versus Ali. And Busta Brick Nick, you know what I mean? 38, Uncle Bun too with 38 Special. Those are my joints, but I'll keep my shit short because y'all already nailed it with y'all takes on it. But yeah, this is a great album, and I come back to this often, man.
All right, number 7 for me. Well, I think this is gonna be the first time it's mentioned, so I don't know if it's on y'all list, but this where it fell for me. Pusha T, It's Almost Dry. And this one, man, just like Pusha T going, like continually doing what he's doing, the cocaine talk, you know what I mean? That's what he does. I don't want him for too much other things, but he let in a little bit more of the storytelling in on this. He let in a little bit more of the storytelling. He came back with the Pharrell heavy knock that kind of goes perfect with his voice. And yeah, man, it started off with Brambleton, Let the Smokers Shine, the Coops. Man, that one right there alone just could just get constant play all day on for me. And that bass line for it, man, is just crazy. And Dreaming of the Past featuring Ye. For the Ye fans, that's what you get. It did make me kind of enjoy him a little bit more, but other than that, Neck and Wrist featuring Jay-Z and Pharrell. This was when I know a lot of people were starting to talk again in the social media space about the Jay-Z verse and everything. They thought it was like kind of old, lazy. Then Jay came back and did what he did later on in the year on God did. But Just So You Remember, man, that song right there alone feels like a villain's intro. Like music, just so you remember, like I just like somebody, just the slickest drug dealer that you're gonna root for or something like this.
He's a bit of an asshole, right?
If you could picture like Snowfall Franklin, like every time he came in, like that would have been, you know what I mean, or like. I feel like that music gonna get used so much down the line. Like I said, for any of like a villain like coming in on the movie. Then you got Diet Coke, and that was like one of his main singles that came out and everything cool. Then you had Rock and Roll, and this is kind of why I
knew he was coming. I was waiting.
The last Cudi and Ye type song. I think we're gonna get like
ever.
He gone. Yeah, he gone. Yeah,
down the road or whatever. But Ye's doing his thing, kind of went off completely from Cudi, and not even was really like. And then now you hear like all the inner workings that was going on within good music, and it kind of like he fell off for so long ago. They came back. They some kind of way linked back up for Kids See Ghosts, which was one of my most played albums even in 2022. Man, I love that album. But I just want to say I thank Push for making this happen, making sure they both sounded great on this song, and they can like as those two made great music together. Him including them on this, finding good verses for him, good harmony for him on each one of the songs and pushing that through. Man, that was great. Then you had Call My Bluff, 1-800 Call My Bluff. Like that one was great, man. Scraped it off. He even was like that had like the more modern type hip hop type feel with Lil Uzi Vert and everything, and like I'm not too palatable on like Lil Uzi Vert song here and there that he's on these features.
He's like in a project this year that I slept on and I fuck with heavy.
Oh, okay. I gotta listen to that. I'll give it another shot. But on this one, it was definitely good, and him doing the hook. Yeah, it was definitely good. And then Hear Me Clearly, which was featured on Inigo, which kind of fell off on my it was pushing on my top 10. That was that Nigo project was great. Just
like
all the
that was
hits,
on your mid-year, right?
Just yeah, it was on my mid-year. It's like I'm telling you, it's still on my paper right here. I can show you. It was like number 11, bro. Like I was like, ugh, it just barely slipped out. Open Air, and then I Pray for You, which was like the return of the Clips, which also on the Nego, they had another one with Clips on that too. So yeah, Malice came back and like killed that verse and like he never left. Like so.
Word. Yeah. No.
Pusha T, It's Almost Dry. I think it's a great project. Came out at the top of the year, still standing strong at the end of the year. Like I said, he got songs on here that's just gonna live forever. And I think especially like with that Ye and Cudi song, that's probably gonna be the last song they featured on together.
Oh. Yeah, nice one, man. He's on my list at some point here.
All right. So yeah, my number 7, once again, like I said, Iggy's Loudmouth type shit. And we talked about this a little earlier before the show, but it made my list and I'm proud of it. And I had some toxicity this year, so I had to play it. I ran that shit up. Future, I Never Liked You, makes my list. Nice. Another strong intro, 7:12 p.m.
About to lose some fans.
Strong ass intro. And the number 2 song, I'm That Nigga. Let me tell you, when I needed motivation, I would type that song into my search bar every time. Make sure I type it out.
Can you say that again?
I'm That Nigga. Exactly. Yeah, type it out, click it, and play it when you need that motivation. There it is, man. Right there. Also, Gold Stacks, Wait For You, As the Rest of the World played. I played that song a lot. Massaging Me, I played that song a lot, especially when the Deshaun Watson shit was going on, because somebody told me that was the song he was gonna come out to when he came back. so yeah, I was like, yeah, that actually makes sense. I played that, and let's see what else. The Babyface Ray song, No Security. He had a great year, by the way. I fuck with Babyface Ray heavy. 2 albums dropped this year. The one just dropped last week, which is a strong album. And they made my list because I still was filling it out, but it was strong. But I fuck with him. And he got a little Durk on here. I fuck with that song. It's like 22 songs on this album. So plenty of Future if you're a Future fan. But yeah, it made my list. It was one of my consistently played throughout the year. Dropped the week before Kendrick shit dropped. So that month was like literally the polar opposite. But I needed both of them that month. So like
balance. It was like needed the balance. Yeah, you needed the balance.
That balance. I needed both of that. So it was good. So yeah.
Right. And like I was telling other people, man, before I get into my number 7 is like, you know, with all of us being kind of well-traveled and doing our stints in the military and stuff like that, like the reason why this list is going to not be just all motherfuckers that rap to drumless beats and just keep it real, you know, it's not going to be that because we move around, like we listen to different shit. Like it ain't just, you know, and we keep it real on here, man. Like some people just don't want to give it up for Future, or you know what I mean. Like I've been hearing a lot recently of people saying Future is their favorite rapper. Like I think recently in a Freddie Gibbs interview, I've heard him say Future is his favorite rapper, and I'm like, I literally Future's all I've heard the last couple years wherever I've been in the States or overseas, like. It's a real fucking thing. You know what I mean? And people don't want to give him that credit. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
his album was in the top. It hit top 10 at least every week, a couple weeks for like 5 months straight, some shit like that. It was like him, Kendrick, Bad Bunny, like all them. I consistently kept seeing those albums in that list. Right. So he was,
and whether you
it's real
rap, whether you want to label it as rap or whatever, everybody else label it as rap. When you're searching for it. So I mean, hey, you know, the debate is up there.
What didn't happen from now to 15, 20 minutes ago when we started this, and you was all up You was going against Whole Future.
Yo, Prez, man, this is for the show, man. Why you giving the behind the scenes things, man?
Like,
it's all for the show, man. I'm over here to throw you off.
I want to know that I swear
you was already preparing for your rebuttal, wasn't you? Now that I done came with this take on it, now you don't have your rebuttal. So now you got to call me out. Now you got to call me out on what we discussed off mic. Oh, Cam. Now you got to bring it on the Cam. All right. At number 7. At number 7.
Oh, man.
At number 7. At number 7. Interesting you say Kendrick Lamar. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Okay.
Now, y'all going to ask me, why is Kendrick so high on my list or low on my list in terms of number 7? I couldn't get jiggy to this in terms of like just my feeling, like the feeling of it. It's so heavy. You know what I mean? Not saying I couldn't get jiggy to it, but it was just the feeling of it. But I know when I went to it, this is a fucking damn good album. And I can't leave this album off of my top 10. You know what I mean? Like N95, Die Hard, Father Time, that's a fire joint. Rich Spirit, We Cry Together, Purple Hearts with Ghostface. You know, that We Cry Together, man. Like, everybody talked about that shit when that shit dropped in terms of just, like, the content in it. And Purple Hearts with Summer Walker and Ghostface, like, again, that's a gem. That's going to be one of the ones that's remembered in his discography. Count Me Out, Crown, Silent Hill with Kodak Black. Even though Prez thinks I hate on Kodak Black, I don't hate on Kodak. It's just when he paired with greatness, he shows up. And that's when I give him acknowledgement.
I think we done went through this before.
Kodak had a great year, by the way.
The way you say Kodak is the way I say about the West Side Gun, and that's kind of how we can kind of interchange it a little bit.
Perfect. That's the perfect explanation of how we feel when we don't like. I don't necessarily dislike Kodak, but I don't necessarily go to his solo shit.
Kodak. That's one of my
favorite
favorite
young. I fuck with him though.
Thank you.
But again, Savior, Baby Keem, Mother I Sober, Auntie Diaries, like there's a lot of songs on there that are heavy and it's hard to go back to. But I don't want this to not be appreciated. It's appreciated by me, but I don't want it to not be appreciated as much as what's the fucking album where it's black and white? Iggy, you a fan. You rapped with him on stage before. This is not. This is real talk. Iggy has actually rapped with Kendrick Lamar on stage before.
That is true. That's not a lie.
It's not a lie. This is all actual factual.
To Pimp a Butterfly, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, To Pimp a Butterfly. I feel like To Pimp a Butterfly, because it was so heavy and it was so conscious in the time that album dropped, I feel like people don't give that album its just due. I feel like this album is in that same vein in terms of him touching on a lot of...
This was even heavier than that.
Heavier.
Album.
He's grown. He's grown now. He's a grown man. You know what I mean? He's in his young 30s. He's experienced life, has kids, cheated on his wife, bounced back. He
was off for a minute, 5 years.
Yeah. All for a minute.
TV, all of them was gone. So like, y'all gonna be heavy.
And then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention The Heart Part 5. You know what I mean? That's probably one of my favorite out of the Heart series. You know what I mean? Everything he did, the treatment to the video and everything like that. So, but yeah, this is my number 7. Yeah. Whoa. Don't catch me on that. That's my number 7, though. That's my number 7.
Number 6 for me is going to be Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale, and the Big Steppers. And for everything that Cash just mentioned about like the heavier topic and everything that on here. So if y'all listen at the show, if you're a past listener, if you're not, I'm going to tell you, I revised this down. I took out all that other stuff on there. And I got it down to 10 songs on here. It goes United in Grief, N95, Rich Interlude, Rich Spirit, Purple Heart, Count Me Out, Silent Hill, Savior Interlude, Savior, Mr. Morale.
This motherfucker blueprinted. He blueprint-2'd Kendrick Lamar.
And this right here, I have played nonstop. I took out all the other little stuff that was way too heavy in the topics I didn't want to hear about on my day-to-day. But the songs that were good.
What you mean? It's Auntie, you ain't want to hear Auntie Diaries in your day-to-day? I didn't want to hear
Auntie Diaries. I didn't want to hear the argument with his girlfriend left and right on there every day. Like, it's something I can do without. You know what I mean? I don't need to hear about his... I
have my own arguments. I don't want to hear your shit.
Yeah, for real.
I listened at it once. I get it for the whole project, but like, I mean, if I'm gonna keep coming back to this, I'm not listening to all that. It was too much negativity and stuff. Man, like I like toxic. I ain't got time for all that. I don't want to hear about his uncle, that was gay and the preacher not really like. Okay, I get it. I get it. It was part of the moment, but as far as the rest of the songs and the albums, man, top notch. And I played it throughout the year, so I'll be completely wrong not to mention this album and the songs I did listen to, because those rest of that, once I revised it down, it got heavy play from me. So those songs, as I said again, and you'll probably see it up in we'll post it up a little bit later, like my revised version, for if you want to check that version out, because that's kind of how I listened to it only now. Like ever since it dropped that first month, I listened to it like the regular way, and then after that I did my revisers, and it's the only way I'd listen to it the rest of the year. If you played me the whole album, I'd be like, no, this song's supposed to come next. That's how I be right now.
Oh man, I go Blueprint 2 to goddamn.
Man, what was it like? Because he had like the one song with the Charlie Brown piano music and like and doing that and doing ballads and stuff.
Oh, like, that was the second song. That was the second song.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, the opener. I was like, yeah, this ain't.
We gotta listen to his therapy sessions. I ain't got time for all that, bro.
Yeah,
we still know it's great, but like it's a lot to pick apart.
It's heavy.
It's heavy, man. It's heavy, man. So Iggy, who you got in number 6?
Problems, bro. I don't need to hear about yours too. I'm glad you're going through your therapy session and working them out, but like, damn.
Yeah, he was
I want to hear some Rich Spirit, man. Fuck all that other shit.
My 6th pick is gonna probably maybe be a surprise to somebody I know y'all fuck with though. And it kind of surprised me, to be honest, because when it first dropped, I played it, but I didn't lean into it a lot. But as the year progressed, it was one that I've consistently started finding myself going back to, especially like songs. Like I would be like, this song is fitting my energy right now. And that was a consistent thing throughout the months until this month. So my 6th pick, Denzel Curry, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future. Dropped in March. Actually, the day before my birthday, funny enough. And the songs on there that stood out to me, Walking, Worst Come to Worst, The Last. A lot of these are kind of deeper songs, but he's got T-Pain back on here. That song's called Troubles. I like that song. He's also got Six Lack or Black, JID and Rico Nasty on a song called Ain't No Way. X-Wing is one of Denzel's more uniquer songs. You know how he's a different type of rapper, but he's also very lyrical and he can spit his ass off. So, but yeah, he's from, I don't know if people listening are familiar with Denzel Curry. I would think, hopefully so. He was on the freshman cover with Kodak and 21 and all them. And there's been a debate about that class this year about who would win a versus, funny enough. So, and it seems like Denzel Curry kind of gets slipped in that little bit of that crowd, but I think he's one of the better ones out of that roster. And this album that dropped this year definitely helped me and carried me. Worst Come to Worst is one of my top played songs this year. So it's kind of like, it was a balancing song for me. So once again, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, Denzel Curry. That's my 6th pick.
Yeah,
because I respect y'all. I'm adding these 2 albums to my listen. These first 2
Miles
albums.
Monday?
Yeah, I said I wasn't gonna say his name again. That's why I was trying to get. I was trying to get around it. I'm gonna add it to my list, and I will call you guys personally, and I will say face.
Hey, listen, I kept some solid albums off mine for this one, and this is truthful to me. Like I actually listened to this album, so it's not. It's not
like his last album. I bumped a lot. What was the name of it?
Was it Denzel Curry or the other? There's another dude that you last year that you was really high on, Press. I forget who it was. It's in the same Denzel.
It was a couple
Curry
people.
lane.
That was pretty high
Denzel
on last year.
2019. That was a Zoo album. I think we talked about it.
Okay.
Oh yeah. That's one. And I brought that one up. I think I mentioned it then. Like, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah, the Zoo. Yeah.
Cool, man. Like that for me. Number 6. This is one of my guys. I've been waiting on him to drop projects. He's been dropping little singles here and there. And I'm like, yo, what's taking so long, man? Like, he's one of the new guys.
Corday gonna get his shine on
he's
here.
He's one of the new guys. It is not Corday. At number 6, I got Jig, the Forever Story, man. It's the Forever Story. I've been waiting for this shit and for people to get hit over the fucking head with how crazy he is. I don't care who you are, where you at, underground, overground, middle ground, whatever fucking genre you want to box in. This motherfucker's one of them guys that got bars, and I don't care what spectrum you on. You know what I mean? He can spit. You know what I mean? So Dance Now. Dance Now. That's one of my joints. Crack Sandwich on here. Fire. Crack Sandwich on here is fire. Surround Sound. That shit was from the time that dropped. That was a single that dropped. We all heard that. Brother Them with Lil Durk. Dirk been on a spaz out session
Dirk
too.
He had a crazy year too.
You already know.
Hey, man, that 7220, man, that's a good album too. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah. He started off by saying he ain't snitching on himself. Basically, it's all fact. It's all fiction. That was like probably the dopest way to intro a song, intro an album, saying all this shit is all cap. And then go into
especially in Atlanta right now.
Yeah, go into all the negative shit that he goes into. So that's fire, man. I like the ignorant and negative nigga. Like, you know, kind of like how Styles P say, I'm ignorant and negative nigga. Pop guns, bust shit, pop shit. Sound better than niggas. The other joint on here, my personal standout on here, outside of the joint with Lil Wayne, which I like a lot, and Kenny Mason, is the one with Ari Lennox. You know what I mean? Can't Make You Change. That one was on repeat for me. I'm a sucker for beat switches when it's done well. And they did that well and executed that well. I love Ari's voice. And every time Ari's on something with Jid, like, it just seems like they always make something really, really dope together. And it just fits, man. I don't know if they would ever make an album together, but that's something I would sign up for in a heartbeat. So that's my number 6, man. Like, this has been firmly in rotation since it dropped. And I'm still catching shit from it.
That's what's up. All right, and we getting into the number 5. Do y'all want to take a short break?
Yes. Finally leveled the playing field. Never trust your sus. We define what's real. Shuffle shit, took losses. You know the deal. It was never an option to miss a meal. It was never an option to skip a bill. Got low, mindset of a Navy SEAL. Took my queen off the board. Now we move free.